What's up? What's up, everyone? What's up? How's everyone doing? Laughing Man, thank you for being here. Thank you for stopping by. Sism. Sism. Thank you for being here, my brother. Thank you for stopping by. We'll be talking about this, right? We'll be talking about this. This is a thing where, as you can see, okay, as you can read tonight's title, we'll be talking about that. There's an incident that had, I bet you, making women regret supporting the alphabet community, alphabet people's, insanity, right? So we'll be talking about that. We'll definitely be talking about that. Hope everyone's doing well. All right. Hope everyone's doing well. So, I always think that within dating, women have absolutely destroyed dating. Women have made dating a terrible experience thanks to women. Now, tonight's show, the main topic isn't really talking about dating, but it's the same idea where women have destroyed other parts of our society, right? Women have destroyed other parts of our society because as time goes on, women have gained more and more power. Women's feminism, women's ideology has deep rooted, okay, into our society. So what we'll be talking about is one of the things that women have supported for years. I mean, for forever, we've always had the alphabet community. Okay. We've always had them, but they were a niche group. They weren't really talked about. They weren't really recognized. They weren't really cared about or worried about, right? No one, they could do their own thing, right? They could live their own life. Laughing Man, what's up? What's up? They can live their own life. No one's complaining. No one is trying to make them change their life, right? You do you. But in recent years, and I think with the push of women, well, they have pushed now the alphabet community to very mainstream status. Real Rain, what's up, my brother? The cycle women want changed. Women want make change. Women regret change. Women change back to original. That's the thing. Okay. I've said this before. Okay. Men haven't changed. All right. Men haven't changed. Men only adapt. Women have changed. Women have changed society, and now men have to adapt to it. And that is the thing where we are dealing with it. We are dealing with that kind of insanity. All right. But before we do that, we were going to talk about some alphabet community whatnots. Okay. But you guys don't have to. You don't have to. But if you want to, right? You want to join in the discussion. You want to join in the reaction. Link is in the chat, right? Link is in the chat if you guys want to join. You don't have to, but if you do want to, you guys could. All right. So that's what we'll be talking about. I think tonight will show you that honestly, women in general are not fit to lead. Women in general are not fit to lead. They have been perpetuating, they have been pushing the worst of our society, okay, women have been pushing the worst of our society, and I've said this before, where we are slowly going to just watch the world that women have created, that women have shaped, burn down around them. And what men will probably would do is that we will watch the world that they created burn down, and then men will have to now step up and rebuild. All right. Let's start with this. Right? Let's get the ball rolling. All right, let's get the ball rolling. Let's start with this.
Why are y'all listening to gay men? Wait a minute. I think some of the stuff because gay men can't be real. But y'all are worse. Y'all are worse. Gay men, for instance, is trying to tell women like, look, disrespecting your man or your husband or whatever is homosexual. You don't need. Hold on, wait. So you need to hold on. Let me ask you a question. Okay. So you telling me you need the devil to spot the devil? Yes, no, I'm saying that what I've seen is that women, like, I went to his page and I read the comments, and the women are thanking him because they're saying, like, you need the devil, because listen, I don't give a fuck about what you do. I guess women do. Like, women y'all need the devil, so you need the devil to show you who the devil is. What you saying? Because y'all don't got no, so you telling me that y'all ain't got no fucking discernment no more? Y'all have completely lost women intuition. You can't spot when a dude is gay.
No such thing. No such thing. Women's intuition is just emotions, just what they feel, right? Women's intuition is just a feeling, right? And we know emotions is idiotic, right? Again, another reason why women should not lead. They think women's intuition means anything. It doesn't. It's just how you feel. It's just what you're feeling. And what you're feeling is idiotic. Kenny, what's up, my brother? Maybe we should have 2 extra bathrooms, trans men and trans women. This is a thing where, and here's the thing, okay? The alphabet community has dozens of people in it. So we should have probably bathrooms for every single group. Let's go crazy, right? Let's go crazy. Hell, let's go crazy and have bathrooms for every single race. It's like, this is the insanity, right? This is the insanity that honestly women have created. This is the insanity that women have created and how men have to deal with, right? Men didn't have to deal with this shit before. Women are the one who's pushing this shit.
They can't leave the nigga that beat them up. So they will weak. Like, don't need to beat them out. They stay right there. I think that women sometimes just don't know. Even if you suspect it, sometimes women have been wrong. They're dead wrong. They think something, and it turns out they blew it out of proportion. They were delusional. It totally wasn't what it was. But women, particularly for this, are saying, no, I need a little bit more evidence. I need a little bit more, buttons. And y'all have perverted yourselves by listening to dudes that are gay. That's the crazy. Men are just no. Y'all are evil. Y'all listen to you. Y'all all got a fucking man that dress like y'all. That's look now, man. Look. Think about this. Y'all should be, for all the women that are against men, right? This is how evil this shit is. Y'all sit out here and y'all say ain't no good men. Yet y'all invite the devil in your house to compete with y'all men.
That's the insanity, right? And we'll be talking about this. We will be talking about this tonight. Women are fucking insane. We have women literally bashing men, insulting men, belittling men, right? Talking about the incel, talking about loneliness, men, the lonely male epidemic. And yet, women are the first ones to support gay men, right? To support trans women. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? So only if men are gay or like have a feminine mindset, right? Trans. That's when women jump up to support them. But you don't realize, you complain about men lying? These are fucking liars. These are the men of facade. These are men that are not real, right? Trans women, they're fake.
Why would you invite a nigga that is competing with you for the same type of nigga that you want? If you're really doing that, I don't know any women. Did they say they might? No, you're enabling his behavior by supporting it. Man, it ain't.
This is the thing. Women are enabling the alphabet communities, right? The alphabet people's behavior by supporting this bullshit. Women are supporting these kind of behaviors, right? They're supporting it. And this is why we have such a boom in the whole, that community. Yep, exactly.
Those bigger support group than black women. Black women are the biggest supporter of gay men. If you look at a black man that's going live on YouTube, he got a 98% black woman audience. Those are the biggest supporters of the degenerate shit that we see happening in our community. I won't deny that women, a lot of black women do support, have gay hairstylists, gay makeup artists, gay best friends, they hang out all of this. But I think there's a difference in how we discuss BL men and openly gay men. The similarities that what people do. It don't matter though. I hope all y'all get a bisexual man in y'all life. Yeah. Me at time. All these women that continue to support gay men, I hope you get a bisexual man in your life to marry. I hope you deserve them. And I hope the regular good men are for the authentically good women. We need to start separating this shit. We need to start allocating. The same way that they say people with kids should date people with kids, women that support gay men should only be able to talk to bisexual men. women that just authentically only want to be a part of the real. Listen, we just gonna take this old school traditional shit. We just gonna go to the ice cream parlor and get to. They should be reserved for the real ones. We just need to start separating this shit. We need to stop allocating people based off of the superficial stuff, and we got to start figuring out who is who out here because y'all diabolical, man. Y'all crazy. You're crazy in real life, bro. I'm sorry for doing. I mean, I don't let my mom. I don't let no woman around me. I don't even let them follow certain people.
Says what's up, my brother? Thank you for being here.
If I find out that they following when they show me some shit, I'm like, oh no, you gotta get that shit about this stuff. Get that about your algorithm. I don't like that shit, bro, because I can't do it, bro. I can't be around a woman that got these worldly views. That shit is toxic. Thank you. Well, no, Dana, we did. Do y'all what women on the stage? Y'all have toys? Y'all use toys? What? Not right now. Huh? I mean, we back to the choice. Because Dana, I wanted to say this because I had a discussion and I actually apologized to my ex for this. Because once I start, you still love your ex? Yes. No. We spent almost 20 years together. We just yeah, like we just. But no, this happened a while ago when I actually did this when we were together. But when I started understanding what happened and what was happening, the agenda that was being pushed, the things I was passive about, when I started getting honed in on what was going on in society is when I found out what they was doing in schools. And that's when I lost my mind. So then I started looking into stuff. And they was telling us, I don't know how old you are exactly, David, but I know for a fact, like me and Anton, I'm a little older than him, but around the same age. At that point in time, when women started having, we used to call them Judies. You're like, oh, I got me a Judy. That would mean your gay best friend. Our man was telling us to keep them up. Like they would tell us, why you hanging with him? Don't bring him around. We would call them homophobic. We would call them all these names and shame them for trying to tell us about what was happening. Oh, he want to be you. They were saying these things then when it started becoming prevalent. They want to be you. Now look. So my husband was one of those. So what other choice would I have had than to double back on that and acknowledge that? Is to be like, you were right. We fucked up. Because now they in our bathrooms. Now they trying to beat us. That's why I don't. You know how y'all be saying.
We'll be talking about it. Right? We will be talking about it tonight. There is a recent story, right? Recent story about it. So we'll be talking about it.
All these protests saying I fight all this stuff. I say the same thing when it comes to gay rights. I mean, oh, that's a black woman fight right there. That's a black woman fight. Because we don't know about them coming in our bathroom. They come in y'all bathroom. So I think that's y'all fight. We stopped listening to our men and we messed up. I think there are a lot of women that don't have like a issue with things that they cannot change, but they're not out here in the streets advocating for it. They're not advocating for it. Y'all still encouraging them. And I know they fucking y'all. Y'all gay best friends, they in and out, y'all. I've heard of that. But that's why I know it's true. I know. But that's why y'all go to all of their movies. Y'all watch their TV shows. Y'all watch their TV live streams. Also, y'all super chat like characters. Y'all do all.
You know, one of the things that I'm sorry. Okay, if you guys see my, I did another video, right, of saying that women have been ruining men's content, right? Women have been ruining men's content, and part of that, women have been pushing for the LGBT community to be part of men's content, right? Another part that's ruining. I swear to God, like back, I don't know, 90s, 80s, and before, you see. Yo, Whiskey, what's up, my brother? What's up? You see, people from the LGBT community once in a blue moon, once in a while, which is fine, okay? They're a small population, but they're a part of us. They're a part of our community. But now you see them in almost everything. In almost everything. Again, it's just another checkbox kind of mindset.
That's negative. And this is why we can't have a woman leader, because women by nature are rebellious. They need structure. They need a strong nigga in their life to say, shut the fuck up, get the fuck up out of there, and I'm gonna make you a right. I'm gonna make you right. I'm gonna get your life together. Without a strong man in your life, y'all are chaos. You need a nigga to just straight up grab you up and say, hey, get the fuck in the bathroom. Don't get your life together. Who you talking to? Without that, look at them red already. As much as y'all think that y'all got it, you're nothing without us. That's why y'all begging for government food stamps. That's why y'all thinking about stealing. Y'all don't even realize this. Women are nothing. You're nothing without us. You are but aimless, about to bust their wide open, flood the streets, gay loving.
I agree. I honestly agree. Right? Women cannot shape this world without men. Women can only say right now in today's day and age, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, because fucking men have changed, have shaped the world for your fucking ass to be so entitled, right? It is men who have shaped the world to give you this delusional entitlement that you don't need no man. It's the drawback. It's the drawback that men have civilized the world to such a degree that women can say the shit they can say.
Don't say we're not nothing without men. We absolutely don't.
Without a man, and I know they're gonna get mad at this.
No, y'all act like y'all need us, dude.
Without a good, strong man.
I
think I agree with that. I'm talking about from your father all the way over to a man that's gonna cover you. You have nothing. And by default, you're always, even if you're in a relationship with a weak man, you're always going to naturally, it's like anti. You're always going to be attracted to the person that you're supposed to be around. And usually it's going to be a strong masculine man that's going to give you some motherfucking destruction. And even when you rebel against it and when you try to buck against it, you can't help but to come back to it, because that's how God made you. It's in your nature. And when y'all don't follow it, and when you don't follow the covering of a man, you look weird. Your life turns retarded. You look weird. That's why y'all be having y'all wear the dumbest shit. But it's because you ain't got the covering of a man. This is the truth. You're weird. You naturally just attract yourself to one of them guys. It's always gonna be one. It's just the way that it is. And it ain't nothing you can do about it. Don't get mad at me, get mad at God. That's the way he made y'all.
Glass hanging out. Then when you say something, they get mad at you.
You're Luigi. You're player number 2. That's it. Luigi. And get mad at God for making you Luigi.
Maybe Princess Peach. I'm mad at her.
Princess Peach.
Man, Mario was a simp.
No. Luigi, you're supposed to be Luigi, right? Princess is the rebellious version of you. That's why you keep getting captured. And then we got to come and save your asses. Because you keep on ending up with Donkey Kong and Koopa. Then we got to go through the gauntlet and use all 7 of our lives to come and save you again. I don't want to hear that shit.
I don't know how we went from women having issues connected with men because they either got the issues or they be on the deal. But okay.
Her working blue collar fucking Mario to come and save your ass. Every fucking time. It's a lot of symbolism in these games. Y'all not paying attention to them. The blue collar always get the tail end of the stick after the motherfucker.
Oh wow.
Cooper get the best of you, then it's always the plumber that got to come in and say, "Oh my God, we got to see."
That's not.
That's a fact.
The reason why there's so many DL men is because they never knew what a masculine man looked like.
No, what they're trying to say is that the reason there are so many gay men, because you said this before on the previous.
No, I said DL.
But it's not. You said
Did I
gay.
say are men having commitment issues or down low at the bottom?
What?
You know, see how you read it?
I'm saying that you said previously that it's single mothers are responsible for gay men. See, the reason why a man is DL, that's behavior, not sexuality. So you may be gay, but you're not openly gay, and you are being deceitful by not acknowledging what they're saying. You're truly being honest, and while doing it, you are deceiving your family. If you have children, you're deceiving your wife, your girlfriend, everybody around you, because they don't know who you are.
Well, what's the root cause of it? Because their mama made them their girlfriend. So you got 2 choices, really. Because the third possibility of you just being a straight up regular heterosexual man, that's far-fetched for you, right? Because your mama, all you know is being around your mama and her auntie.
That's the fucking shit right now, right? These single mothers are creating weak ass boys. They are poisoning these little boys turning these little boys, these messed up, mentally unstable little boys, into mentally unstable grown ass man. And then you say, oh, what about the men? Well, here's the fucking shit, right? Here's the thing. It is still the woman that picked this stupid ass man, this weak ass man, this it's still the woman that picked this Pookie. Picked this man that she thought was going to be a good father. No, you didn't pick because he was going to be a good father. You picked him because he talked a good game. Right? He talked a good game. He looked good. He could pipe you really well down low, right? He could lay that pipe really well. That's why you picked him. Let's be fucking honest. Let's be honest. These single mothers didn't pick the men they gave kids to because she knew he was going to be a good father. She didn't fucking do that, right? Women didn't pick these men because she knew she's going to be a good husband. He's going to be a good father. Because one, they don't marry these men. Two, they didn't even think past tomorrow. All they thought about, oh, this man looked good. This man had a good talking game. This man can pipe me down well, right? Can lay that pipe well. That's it. So when you care about this man, superficial, stupid qualities, no duh that, you know what? When you deal with him, when you actually got serious, he's a shitty man. He's a shitty man. So you gave a child to a shitty man, right? And now that pain of being with a shitty man, you are going to push that trauma onto your boys. So this is what do you create? What do you create? You either create future baby fathers, right? Baby daddies, you create future baby daddies, or you create mentally unstable boys. Mentally unstable boys that, you know what, may turn gay or may turn trans women, right? That's the fucking shit you're doing. And that's the thing, right? It's lust. We don't talk about it. We don't talk how women are controlled by their lust, right? We don't talk about how women are controlled by their lust. And that's the problem, right? No discernment, no actual care for anything but themselves. When lustful people, right, do shit around the world, it's because they only care about themselves. They don't care about nothing else. They don't care about the children. They don't care about the future. They care about themselves at that moment. Right? And I've said this before. I don't promote it too. Men's biggest weakness is women and lust. That has been men's biggest downfall. Right? It just makes you weak.
You know, aunties, and listen to them talking about men. And so you got that femininity and you never see what a strong man looks like.
I can't say
So you either have that or you become a son husband because your mother then kind of treated you like the husband or the man that she was supposed to be with, or you by some miracle have some kind of male influence that come into your life. For a lot of these guys, it's people like me that tell them the truth, and you get up out of that shit, and then you become a regular individual. But for a lot of these guys, they son husbands or they gay.
I'm gonna say when you say it like that, you're saying that the only reason why men are gay, correct me if I'm wrong, is because of them being raised by a single parent.
Mostly, 9 times out of 10, that's true, yes.
And I guess the one time
sometimes you get a beta male that's raising them.
Well, I'll say this.
Inside of the marriage.
Well, you see, I'll say this. The other 10%, I guess, falls in the lines of I've seen gay men that come from churchy families. They have a mom and a dad. They're married, siblings, nice home, after that, and they did sports. You know, they
no. There was a beta male in the family.
But I'm saying
dad usually was a happy life type of dude. And sometimes.
Yeah, weak men raise weak boys. No duh. Weak men raise weak boys. That's just how it is. So no duh that, you know, again, and I'm not just saying weak men in that, like, I'm saying weak in such a broad term, right? You could be weak and you weren't teaching your kids properly. You could be weak where you're not guiding your child properly. Particularly for a son, you need to guide a son properly. I've said this before. We need good fathers out there, right? And I think there's plenty of them. The problem is women aren't choosing them, and we're not celebrating them, right?
Sometimes it's because he's been touched on too. So we can throw that in there also.
That's what I was gonna say when you brought up the church.
A lot of people that's been molested. Yeah. Even if you look at the church today, it's a lot of gay men that's raised in the choir. It's a lot of gay men that, like, The black church is synonymous with with black people, but we've thrown all of the devil's work inside of it. It's not even a church anymore.
That's true.
Yeah, it should be a lot more.
We can say molestation and like churches and black families that kind of facilitate a safe space for these uncles and these preachers and these youth pastors to be doing these things. It could be not raising these young boys to be young men. It could be having too many gay men around your boys and they feel like they have to mimic it. So we can acknowledge the things that introduce, especially young black males, to the homosexuality world. I just don't think it makes sense, even though it is majority from my own like seeing experience. Typically, every gay man that I've come across has had some experience that falls along the examples I just described. But I don't think it's safe to put a complete cap and say, well,
it is safe. It is safe. And I see Jan, she said, was Magic Johnson a beta? Oh, I think Magic Johnson was gay.
I think he's a bad man.
No, let me make it really clear. If you're asking me to guess, right, because I have to say allegedly, and I have to say what I think, not what I know. Oh, listen, when Magic Johnson got HIV, that was definitely a gay man's disease. That was not something that was happening where women was giving me an HIV. I believe Magic Johnson was busting it down for real. I believe that Magic Johnson, bisexual is gay. I believe that Magic Johnson was absolutely busting it down for real. And
Now, I do want to preface this, right? I want to preface this since we'll be talking about this tonight. I do not hate anyone from the alphabet community. I don't hate anyone. I don't hate gay people. I don't hate trans. I don't hate these people, right? But what I want to say this, what I find a problem with, okay? I want to make my stance clear. It's not that I hate these people. I don't. I just like I don't hate women, right? I don't hate women as much as people think I do. I don't. I don't hate women. I don't really hate anybody in my opinion. But I've said this before. I hate certain mindsets. So I hate the victimhood mindset, right? I hate victimhood mindset. I hate lack of accountability. Right? I hate a lack of accountability. I hate hypocrisy. I hate delusions. Right? I hate people being delusional. So, since I told you what I hate, what the things that I hate, I'm sorry. The alphabet community represents a lot of that. Right? The alphabet community represents a lot of that. Plus, okay, you could be delusional in your own house. You could be a hypocrite in your own house. Whatever, right? The problem is that now you're bringing that out to the real world, right? You're trying to push that to the mainstream. You're trying to push that to everyone else, to the people, right? The people who you need to pronounce my pronouns. You need to this, you need to that. Oh, we need to have trans women, right? We need to have men that believe they're women in women's sports, in women's safe spaces, right? That's the problem I have. So I do not hate anyone that is from the LGBT community. I don't hate them. My problem is you need to keep that in your personal life. You need to keep your delusions, your however you see your life, however you want to live your life in your personal life. The problem is you got to make yourself to be popular. You have to make yourself into mainstream. Because here's the thing. Why is it that it's the alphabet community is about like, I don't know, under 5% of the population, yet they are so prevalent in absolutely every form of media we have. It is insane. They're overrepresented. It doesn't make sense. Like, I see more people from the alphabet community than I see Asian people in entertainment. That's the insanity, right? I see more people from the alphabet community than in entertainment than I see Asian people in entertainment. I'm like, seriously? I would hope that we'll be like before the alphabet community in representation in our entertainment, right? That's what I would think. So I would think that you would see more Asian people in entertainment than you would see the alphabet community. But almost everyone is lesbian, gay, or trans. Name me how many. You could name me dozens of people from the alphabet community. Can you name me how many Asian people? That's the thing where, again, I'm not hating, but I'm just saying like that don't make sense. And I'm not calling, oh, we need more Asian representation. I don't give a shit. But I would think that if the pecking order should be Asian people first. That's my thing. Yo, AJ, what's up, my brother?
Don't you know that you Asians aren't allowed to talk about it? Anything that Asian hate or any of that stuff just doesn't exist. You guys are you Asians just do so well that you aren't even considered minorities anymore.
That's insanity.
DA, in my home school district in Washington State, you Asians aren't considered people of color.
Ugh, that's insane.
Craziest thing I've ever heard. Did you play the clip yet of the lady whining about the Transformer?
I'm going to. I'm going to.
Do you remember the black woman a year ago who said the same thing? She was at her spa. Here in the private chat, I'll drop you the link to the video that I did, but I have the clip. Go to a minute in so you can just see the clip. This has happened before, and this woman here is in the private chat here. But you don't have to show my commentary, but just actually look at the clip itself, and she's doubting herself on why she should be angry. So go to like a minute in, and then she was saying how it's her favorite spa and it's her place of peace. And there was just like a dude walking around with his ding dong swinging, and she's in the car just bugging out. Yeah, this chick.
So you said a minute in?
Yeah. You can skip my commentary, but because I was trying to find the video on Instagram. Yeah, there you go.
Coming here for 8 years. This is like my place of refuge. It's where I come to relax after like a crazy week or after a very stressful incident, or where I come to just clear my mind, and just, yeah. In this spa, there's like a Korean bathhouse. In this bathhouse, there's like hot tubs, a cold tub showers, a place where you would get body scrubs, and saunas and stuff. My typical routine is to come in, soak in the hot tub, go get a massage, come back, soak in the hot tub, go have lunch. Then maybe like I might do a body scrub, I might not. After lunch, I might soak in the hot tub, get in the sauna, and then leave. That's my typical routine. And in this Korean bathhouse, everyone is completely naked. So there's a side for men that you can enter through the men's locker room, and they have their own side with their own hot tubs and stuff. And there's a women's side, which you can enter through our locker room, and it's only women in there. So today I come in, I soak, I go get my massage, I get ready to go back into the like bathhouse for women, and I walk in and I see a penis and chest hair and a low haircut. So I freak out and I run out. And I go to the people that work there. I'm like, oh my goodness, I think somebody came into the wrong side or something. There's a man in there. Now there's also all women working in there. So they all look at me in discomfort, and you can tell they're embarrassed, and they're just like, it's a trans woman. Look at that. So now sorry. I'm in shock because this person saw me completely naked, without my consent. And I don't even know if I should call it a trans woman because it looked like a straight up man. I'm talking chest hair, a low cut, a very big penis, like.
Yeah, time out for a second.
Like,
did you guys heard the Gold's Gym story, right?
I'm going to be doing that right in a bit. I'm going to. So keep your. Let's do that a little bit in order. Right?
No. So have you noticed that like every time they describe these trans women's junk, they're always big?
Yeah, it's like that is the thing, right? It's like, God damn, what's up with these? Like, what is up with these trans women having such big junks? You would think that it's the man with the little ones that want to be women. That's insane. And you know what? I think that says a lot. Where it's fake. These men are not like these men. Again, a lot of times these men are looking at these women. So these shit is also, like,
you gotta think about why are there so many trans male to females than female to males? Isn't that funny? And on my I have a channel where I react to Get the Predator. I don't really post on it much because I get strikes all the time because apparently talking bad about child predators getting caught bullying, right? there was a person who used to call into my stream, and this person was like a 19-year-old woman to male, right? And whatever, but this person said that that community is a bunch of old dudes that are men to women, and then young girls that are women to men. So you have old dudes and young girls. It's weird, dude. They say it's creepy, and it's just a bunch of dudes trying to perv on young girl. I don't know. So it's all degeneracy. You know what I'm saying?
This is the thing where I think it's a pipeline. I think it's a pipeline where you see it more and more, and this is the insanity. I said this, right? I don't care what people want to do in their personal life, but they're pushing it out into the real world, where I think it's a pipeline where they're trying to get 2 kids. These types of men are mentally.
You're such a hateful bigot.
How dare you?
Exactly.
Actually, you know what's kind of funny is I don't know if you should look up the Abigail Schreier interview on Joe Rogan, because she wrote a whole book about like the female to male transgender epidemic, and she was talking about in her book how it's mostly, if you look at the stats, it's mostly young women with autism that they go after.
Yeah, and then, but here's another thing too. Is gonna understand. You don't think that these pharmaceuticals that are making money off the drugs, and these doctors that are making money off of the mastectomies and stuff aren't pushing this? And here's the thing, guys. All these progressive policies, women, they push the most, but they suffer the most from. Us guys will be just fine. Well, look, let's just say we're all in the locker room and a trans man comes in or comes in. You don't see trans men coming into our sports. But here's the thing. When men take a bunch of estrogen, they can just stop taking the estrogen and be fine. When women take the testosterone and their voice changes and their hair starts falling out, that never changes back. And there was one girl who said she had 1 phone call to Planned Parenthood. She got the hormones and then was booked for a double mastectomy like a week later. You can't undo that. You know what I'm saying? So women are getting the brunt of this transformer thing too.
Yeah, and this is what I'm going to be talking about. This is what I'm going to be talking about tonight, where this is the insanity. This is why women cannot lead, right?
Facts, yeah,
because this is the insanity of women. They don't understand that they themselves are their worst enemies.
Exactly.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of what AJ just said, like if you look at like the progressive politicians that push like the communities, the LGBTQ activists the most, you'll notice Bernie Sanders didn't talk about this until it came out that Big Pharma was repping him.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Warren, Big Pharma, like RFK exposed a lot of the progressive politicians that were pushing this stuff that are linked to pharmaceuticals.
Real Rain, Cory Booker, the Big Pharma show. He has his head so far a big farmer's butt. And then the lady that just won the governor of New Jersey.
Yeah.
She made like $9 million from stocks from something that she did while in the Senate. So yeah.
No. Let's finish this clip.
Yeah.
Had to be in his 40s. And you can tell the spa workers are like torn because you could tell they're uncomfortable. And he's walking around, penis swinging. And they're like, well, if someone identifies as a trans person, we legally can't make them leave. So I'm crying.
You know what? And this is the thing, right? One of the things that Charlie Kirk said, why he supposedly was against the Civil Rights Act is because of shit like this. They are using black people's achievements to facilitate their own fucking crazy insanities. Yeah. And this is why Charlie Kirk said he wasn't supporting the Civil Rights Act necessarily, because they are circumventing. They're using it to push this insanity. Right, but where now you can use you don't discriminate against these people because the Civil Rights Act.
Same as Title IX.
Well, DA, I say this. There's 2 things. Number one, you'll hear this girl's her feeling in her soul's telling her this is wrong, but the programming is telling her like she still feels bad. Like He feels bad that she feels bad, and that's women being sheep. And then there was a guy who was on Rogan recently, and he was saying what I always say. They say like 40% of Gen Z, I mean, of millennials are LDHC TV, but that's not true. It's just a lot of white kids don't want to be part of the oppressive white majority, so they adopt some nebulous LDHC TV thing so they can have that checkbox, that oppression box, and then lecture real rain. Well, you're cisgendered hetero male as they're a white guy. They just want to not be considered the bad guy because they think being oppressed makes you automatically the good guy. You know,
victimhood is popular. Victimhood is popular right now. Again, that's another fucking women's trait.
Yeah, like just think of that term WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. They made an acronym going after like white Christians. And what's a WASP when you essentially think about it? It's a bug.
Yeah, but here's the thing about this real rain. You notice young millennial and Gen Z white dudes have had it. I'm so glad to see it. I'm so glad to see these young white dudes. They've had it and they're not putting up with it anymore. They've gone through 10, 12 years of this presupposition that I lost my keys. It must be a white guy. I got a flat tire. It must be a white. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's dumb.
If it's on your birthday, it's because of a white guy.
This point, I'm crying at this point because at that point, I've been coming here for 8 years, and this is one of my safe spaces, like where I go to like unwind and everything. And it's like just that quick, my safe space just became unsafe. There you go. I almost felt like, I don't know, I'm trying to wrap my head around my feelings.
See, she can't
I feel like something very private to me was taken from me without my consent. And when I say something very private, meaning my body, like I shouldn't have to be in spaces where men have full access to me naked without my consent, and vice versa. So I'm crying, and the manager, you could tell, is very apologetic. They feel bad because they're like, legally, the Jersey law, there's nothing we can do. So they're like, we'll comp your admission fee and we'll comp your food, but we'll just charge you for your massage. So I immediately get dressed and I leave, and I'm at the front desk, like, and I'm embarrassed that I'm crying because I'm like, this shouldn't feel just like intrusive. Like I felt like, I don't know, I felt embarrassed because we're kind of like conditioned to feel like, oh, everything's transphobic, like me even feeling this way is transphobic. But I was very, very uncomfortable, like, and I just feel like I have the right to feel that way. So I don't know if I have like $500 worth of gift cards here. I come here, like I said, I've been coming here consistently for 8 years. I come here, I do my yoga when they have yoga sessions, like, so it's just, I don't know. Help me to wrap my head around this, guys. Like, am I bugging right now? So I'm leaving the spot.
And this is a thing where I said this, where this is the problem, that because we are pushing victimhood, right? Everything is racist, everything is homophobic, everything is transphobic, everything is sexist, it's like, and again, women are the root of it. Women are the ones who's pushing these insanities. Okay. I mean, like, I don't know if AJ can agree, but you know, being born in the 80s, growing up in the 80s and 90s, I felt like we were all getting there to be more cohesive, getting to a point where we were, you know, more, cool with each other. Yeah. Now it's like it's such a renaissance, or like such a poor shit now, that I think because women have more power than ever, they have pushed us to hate each other more than ever.
I think like the 70s, you know, like movies and media-wise, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and even like the 2000 to about 2010, there were still like movies where it was all about, there'd be like the funny stereotypes, or like you had like Rush Hour where it was like the black stereotype and the Asian stereotype. It was funny. People could poke fun at each other.
Yeah.
Chicks in movies were still hot. You know what I'm saying? Like movies were funny, you know? And then 2016, guys, that's when that Ghostbusters 2016 with the chicks, that's when everything started going downhill, because that was right during Orange Man's first election, and it became this lightning rod, and all of a sudden, women who have no sense of humor, who aren't funny, all of a sudden corporations started pandering to them. And guys, once again, can you name any actress under the age of 28 that's hot? I'm talking like Kelly Bundy hot, prime Selma Hayek hot, prime Jessica Alba hot. You can't do it. You can't do it. There's no young hot. Sydney Sweeney is only considered hot because all the girls are all mid. She's only decently attractive chick now, but she's not like Kelly Bundy or young Denise Richards. You know what I'm saying?
But now we're also being villainized for actually calling women hot or like appreciating women's beauty.
Yeah. When they say that Millie Bobby Brown is hot, come on, DA. I dropped this Instagram. If you want to click on this, I usually don't talk about the slippery slope thing. I don't, but when I talk about this LDHD TV plus. The plus is a slippery slope. In this Instagram clip, there's nothing vulgar. There's nothing. This Instagram clip ultimately shows where this degeneracy can lead to. So you can check this out.
Okay.
Hold on.
I want people to really ask themselves, what disturbs your spirit so much about the idea of a child also being a sexual being?
Look at that.
Spirit so much about the idea of a child watching a consensual act. What meaning are you attaching to that act? What meaning are you attaching to it? And where does that meaning that you have attached to it come from? Why is it not okay for people, and I'm specifically talking about youth, to engage in a or to view in an act that is for pleasure? I would much rather myself, when I was 12, be engaging in a consensual act for pleasure.
12.
In safe acts.
I told you guys.
Understanding my body, understanding how to engage in sex safely.
I'm not gonna lie, I was blind.
The asteroid.
I was not expecting her to say the rest of that. You're
The
asking
asteroid.
people why they're disturbed by.
I mean, all I just heard was she knew she was a hoe at 12.
No, but guys, this is that whole maps that minor attracted people, and they have their own flag and their own identity, and they consider themselves part of the LDHD TV. That's the slippery slope with this plus stuff. With this
Exactly. I've been seeing that the alpha people are saying that pedos are part of their community, right?
Yep. They have a flag even.
Yeah.
They have a flag.
Again, this is the problem where you're right. It's a slippery slope where you are opening the floodgates. This is why men have in the past have been stoic. Yeah. They know that when you let your emotions when you open the door to your emotions, it's hard to control. It just flows, and it could be crazy, and it could be insane. So now women are letting the floodgates open to this, all the degeneracy, all the immoralities, all the weird insanities of our crazy human race, and they're trying to push it into the mainstream, and then we're getting more and more of this shit.
Well, I think what we kind of like, we don't really pay attention to the civil war within that community because
the Great Divorce, where the L, the G's, and the B's wanted to separate from the T pluses,
and the T's would not let them divorce. In fact, they hide, like, there was like a case out in like England, I think, where the lesbians were like forced to leave because they made the T's feel uncomfortable. So like the civil war over there is brewing to where even they're like, yo, and I don't even blame like the LGB. I blame the activists, because if you notice, the LGBs, when we were all like young, all they wanted to do was just live. They didn't
get married. That was their number one issue.
I agree.
The marriage thing, and then they got it. And I feel like they still wanted to fight for something, and then the T's stepped in. But do you realize there's only like 8 or 9 lesbian bars left in the United States? Because usually they don't, they get shut down for not letting T's in there. So now there's like the feminists and the lesbians versus the transformer activists. There's this war going on. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a lady, Parker Posey or Posey Parker. She's a British feminist chick, and she is in the UK fighting for women's rights. Posey Parker, yeah, and she gives talks and gets stuff thrown at her by transformers and all this other stuff. So
this, like, J.K. Rowling used to be like the most hardcore anti-Trump woman in the world.
She's a woke, but not woke enough.
And it only took like 1 year of Trump for them to turn on her.
Yeah, but she's a liberal. She's pro climate change. She's done all this stuff for like domestic violence and women in like third world countries. She's really like a wokey, except for this one issue. So they disqualified her, and that's why the people on the left will always lose, because they're always trying to disqualify each other. Conservatives, we can disagree on like a major issue and be fine, but they're literally. Huh?
Don't tell Ben Shapiro that.
Yeah.
True. No, but this is the problem where I find that I don't understand how the trans people have so much power. And well, maybe I do understand it. It's because women have given these mentally unstable people so much power by backing them up.
Well, I think that it's because they've weaponized people's empathy. They've started this narrative where they are the most victimized people on earth. Like they literally, okay, in their worldview, people have white privilege, right? Right? In their worldview, they're still white, right? So how can they be? That destroys their whole worldview if there's a group of mostly white people. Because I'm sorry, but the trans thing is mostly white people. If now they are the bottoms of society, doesn't that mean that destroys white privilege? It's so bad that you see like Kevin Hart made some transformer jokes and they got him kicked off of Oscars.
Something, yeah.
They've been coming after Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, a black guy who grew up poor that managed, and there's now white people who shouldn't have this power and per their worldview can try and cancel him because he's quote unquote punching down. That's how they have so much power. Well, would you rather have a dead son or a living daughter? They're trying to say that they're basically like the small hats in Germany in 35, and it's just cap.
No,
yeah, because Jordan Peterson in his interview with Elon Musk, Elon said the exact same thing. Like, they emotionally blackmailed him into signing the forms for his son's transition, or his now daughter. And like, looking back, he was like, they literally just told me like, she's gonna die if you don't get it, so you might as well do it. But like, when you kind of look at like the Marxist playbook, they infiltrated the colleges. Like, this is no surprise. Like, we all, like, everyone and 90% of America knows that there's no such need for a gender studies degree. So why do they give them out? So these people can go into the real world and indoctrinate more people.
Well, Real Rain, there's another factor here that you need to consider, right? Let's just say that there is DA University, right? And DA University started in 1910, and they have a business program, a nursing program, a med school, a law school, and a history program, right? Well, remember, that the majority of the population was not supposed to go to college. A large chunk of the population wasn't supposed to go. But then we had this postmodernism, right? Meaning, postmodernism was that if your dad's a cop, you were going to be a cop, but postmodernism means that's gone. You can be a lawyer, you can be a judge. Postmodernism means that you can do whatever you want and make a living, right? So in Gen X and young boomers and millennials, we're told you have to go to college or you're nothing, or you're scum, or you're never going to do anything. Blue collar guy is scum. Military guy is scum. But what happened? When I started college in 2000 to when I graduated from grad school, tuition went up 210% or 230%. But hold on, DA says, wait a minute, I have all these Generation Xers coming. I'm going to make a gender studies program. I'm going to make a English program. I'm going to make all these communications because they're easy degrees that people can get through and think that they're doing something, and he can charge a whole bunch of money and make a bunch of cash. It's all a big cash grab.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah,
and this is all what they're doing, right? It's always. I think promoting the victimhood, promoting the division, promoting all these things is a great way to influence people's pockets.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great business model.
Yeah, and putting women, just like they made women into consumers by making them not get married or propagandizing them to not get married, and corporations made money. They propagandize them to go to school because there's 60 to 70% of college students are female now, right?
Yeah.
And that men are not going to college or they're dropping out. So they wanted women to go to school because they knew that they were going to major in things that weren't going to make any money, right? And they're making money off these student loans. How many chicks you actually see in science, technology, engineering, math? They're all in gender studies, you know?
Exactly.
So, I mean, like I said, if I didn't have any more, I get it. Smart, good business, right? Is it moral? Is it right? No, you know. So,
yeah, I agree. Again, because you know, I'm gonna show these the clips for the Goldman thing. So I think it'll be interesting.
yeah, is your computer audio your audio in StreamYard? Because it's hard to hear the video.
Let's see.
I think that we're picking it up through your computer speakers through your microphone. So you might want to change the audio in StreamYard and then have it so that your computer so that it's picking up your computer speakers, and then we could hear it like you're hearing it.
How would you do that?
Go to audio settings in StreamYard and then change it to change the speaker to your computer speaker. And I think that'll do it. Because we're hearing what you hear we're hearing it through your microphone. That's why it's turned down for us. There's a little cog.
I don't know. Audio only says it.
Okay. Yeah, click on audio. It'll say mic, and then it'll say speaker. And then if you click on it, there's a drop down under the little cog, by the screen share. It's all good. Yeah, so right to the right of the screen share button, there's a cog. It's settings, and then you'll see audio underneath.
No, I see that, but when I do my audio, there's only a mic. There's no speaker. I don't know why I don't have one.
Okay, I'll hit you up offline, and we'll next time, and I'll hit you up so we can try and figure it out. Because StreamYard does weird things sometimes. So, anyways,
that's why I don't use StreamYard that much.
No worries.
All right, hopefully we could hear it.
Yeah, it's fine.
word that she got my attention, violated. If you think about the situation that she's in, I mean, it makes sense. I don't know when she said that it really caught my attention. Yes, I don't think biological males should be in women's restrooms. And I don't really feel like that should be controversial. But a solution might be to pass some legislation, which I don't know if this would pass. But you've got male restrooms, female restrooms, and transgender restrooms. And when
and this is the person.
Get out of the way now. No, now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room. We don't want it. He needs to have his gym membership revoked with that shit. And the woman told you. He assaulted me. The girl told already. We already filed reports. No. You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman and I have every right to not want a man in the restroom when I'm naked. There are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay. It's not okay. I'm not a woman like this.
None of them could stop. None of him stop him. Insane. He looks like the only thing he has like there's really nothing about him that makes him look like a woman, and not a single one of them would stop him.
And you know what's the crazy thing is? I've never been to a Gold's Gym, but I've been to like a couple commercial gyms, and almost every commercial gym has like the unisex restroom. So he didn't need to go in there at all.
But they feel entitled to just go wherever they want to go. It's the ultimate main character syndrome, and they're just looking for some type of like victimhood. Like there was a video that went kind of viral like 3 years ago, and this total goof was like, so I'm going into like it was Texas. I mean, it was in Texas, and they went to some barbecue restaurant, and they were like, this looks like a place where they might not like trans people. So they walked by, and like there was some construction workers eating lunch. Well, they look like they might, be threatening. So this person walks up, orders a sandwich and a drink, gets her drink, his drink, sits down, eats food, and then goes, oh well, I guess that didn't go as bad as I thought. So you think that if you go into a barbecue joint and there's 6 dudes that are on lunch from working in the sun in Texas, that they're going to turn and be like, aha, trans person. It's like, who do you think you are,
Yeah, and depending on what part of Texas they're in, like I live in Houston. That shit's so common down here. Like, and
this is the same thing that these pro-black, I'm blackity black with black, y'all knuckleheads, these hotep morons are always say how that white people like Real Rain just wake up just trying to oppress black people. Like, you really think you're that important that the average white person that has to get up and go to work and pay bills is just like just gonna go out of their way? It's the same with regular heterosexual. We don't care. We're trying to get up, pay bills, and put up with all the BS. We don't have time. It's just narcissism. It's all it is. Everything revolves around me. Clown world.
Exactly. I agree, and that's the problem where we are experiencing, and it's funny because we're seeing a backlash. Like a whole bunch of women are complaining about it, but here, let's check out these other clips.
It's what they voted for.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, guys. This is not our fight. It's not. And here's the thing: they mess stuff up and expect us men to fix it. It's not happening. It's not.
So look, now a bunch of women are just complaining about it.
Into a women's locker room at Gold's Gym, and the woman gets kicked out of the gym and her membership revoked. Take a look at this, and then let's discuss.
At Gold's Gym, men, grown men with big dicks in the women's locker room. And that's why I'm getting kicked out. And I want to make sure the girls know. The fuck? Everybody saw that man in the fucking locker room. No one's saying shit. And I'm fucking done with it. It's fucking stupid. It's dangerous. Me naked in front of a man without my permission. I'm the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not running men in the locker room.
So who's right and who's wrong here? I mean, I personally don't want grown men in my areas where I'm getting dressed or going to the bathroom. I just
So who did you vote for? Who did you vote for?
But there are a lot that don't have good intentions. Comment in the comments. Let me know which.
See, she still couldn't see. Well, some are good, but a lot don't have good intentions. They can never be 100% about anything.
No.
See, us men would say, "I don't want this." We wouldn't go, "Well, not all." We would say, "No, we don't want this." But they always try and have to not hurt people's feelings.
Exactly.
That's why they're cooked.
Also, you kind of notice in that video is the beditising of men, because she was even saying no grown man in that gym came to even like say something or step up or help her.
But this is the thing where men can't do it, right? Men can't do that. Men are not allowed to do this shit.
Hey.
Because this is, I think this is a like AJ said, this is a honestly sad, but this is a woman's problem now, because they are the ones who support this insanity. So it's really a woman's problem. I'm sorry, you know, little while back we constantly see it, right, where men are saying that these women should not be in women's sport. But then you see these some female athletes are saying that, I support them, they're fine. It's like, fuck it, right? Fine. Just like suffer then.
Yeah, but you know, like, I think because like what you're saying is 100% correct, but we also know male nature, and even these guys in their male nature didn't like even want to step up. So that's what I mean when I say it's kind of weird.
No, I mean, I agree. AJ, thanks for being here, my brother. But you know, this is the thing where I don't disagree that men should step up and do something. My problem has always been that even if men do, we are then villainized for it, right? So I want to show some more clips of it, of women complaining about it, right? Of women having issues on it. So let's.
I'm in the locker room changing, and there is a man in the mirror in the bathroom, and it's not even like, oh, he's trans and like female presenting, whatever. No, straight up man. His back was the size of an SUV, and he had full hair on his chest, full beard and everything. Oh, but he had on a sports bra, so I guess that's okay. I go and I'm like, everyone's looking. We're like, what the? Like, why is there a whole ass man in our locker room? And I go and I tell the front desk, and I'm like, somebody's in the locker that shouldn't be there. And they're like, oh yeah, we've had some complaints. Like we're working on it with management. Nothing ever got done. He showed up to the locker room like every week, and he had full hair on his chest, full beard and everything. Oh, but he had on a sports bra, so I guess that's okay. I go and I'm like, everyone's looking. We're like, what the? Like, why is there a whole ass man in our locker room? And I go and I tell the front desk, and I'm like, somebody's in the locker that shouldn't be there. And they're like, oh yeah, we've had some complaints. Like we're working on it with management. Nothing ever got done. He showed up to the locker room like every week. Like every time I was there, he was there. So I got to the point where I was just like, okay, I'm not going here anymore. Like I stopped going because I was just like, I don't feel safe. There's a man in my locker room. No, let's talk about the Gold's Gym.
That's the thing. Here's another.
So I'm going to say something.
Damn.
Something that's really clear. Gold's Gym should go out of business in the next 72 hours. It's really that simple. Gold's Gym should go out of business in the next 72 hours because this is not a woman's issue. This is not a man's issue. This is a community issue. This is a people issue. This is a family dynamic issue. This is not just about, oh, we want to be fair. We want to do X, Y, Z. No, that's not what this is about. A woman went into the ladies' locker room. She was getting dressed. She was fully naked. And there was a man who was born a man, dressed in lip gloss and earrings, thinking that he had the legal right to stare and gawk at her naked body without her consent. And when she addressed him as a man, because he is a man, he immediately is offended. And now, not only is he offended, He's offended. It seems as though he was given the platform to stand there in shock and in awe that this woman would not want her autonomy, her physical body to be treated like a trinket, to be treated like anything you could just stare at without her permission. So Gold's Gym needs to go out of business. This is a people's issue. If you say you love women, if you say you love your mother, if you say you love your sister, if you say you love your daughter, if you say you love your grandmother, if you say you love women, then this is not just women standing behind other women. This should be men standing behind this woman as well. Because if you don't, then what you are saying by default is that you don't care if this happens to your daughter. You don't care if this happens to your wife. You don't care if this happens to your mother, your grandmother, your sister. You don't care if this happens to anybody special.
This is a thing where this is the problem, right? This is the problem that you think we don't care, but men have been fighting for this. Men have been saying against this shit. The issue isn't that it's not men. It's not men that's making this an issue. It is women. Women have been making this an issue. Men have been fighting against it. Men have been saying no to this. Men have been saying no to, women, these fake women in women's sports. Women, like, again, who do you see going on college campuses or having these debates of saying, oh, what is a real woman? I do not see women in mass, or a good amount of women actually going to debate and say, what is a woman? They don't. So you see men doing it. Men are the one who's speaking out of it, not women.
Yeah, and I was kind of feeling like a little bit of empathy for him, but like when that woman was just saying like we should be, and like men have been saying it since like 2017, like this is like remember when Bill Maher like kind of scolded Dennis Prager for saying that there are people out there that say that men can menstruate and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm kind of more leaning to y'all side now because like my empathy's gone out the window.
Exactly. This is the thing where it's not like I would not have empathy. But my problem is, like, it's always been this. Like I said this already, where I don't hate these people. I don't hate anybody. Okay. My problem is that we have gone to an extreme where, honestly, these people, no one is stopping these people from living their life. Okay. The problem is that now these people are just going to such an extreme. Okay. They're going to such an extreme and they're pushing their views onto the world. Okay. Here's the thing where if you think you're a woman, okay, fine, go for it. Go the full mile, right? The full mile and do the surgeries. But again, you see this, a lot of these things are, they're not really trying to, they're just trying to change a mindset. They're still looking like a man. They're just changing a mindset.
Yeah. And, like, I think this whole self-identifying thing needs to go out the window because once we can put a lid on that issue, I think everything underneath will like really start to settle itself. Because like I do Muay Thai, but you don't hear me calling myself a fighter. Like this whole self-identity thing where I feel like a woman, still I am. Well, maybe you just don't feel like a masculine man. Maybe you feel like a different kind of man.
This is exactly. This is the problem. This is the problem. We are feeding into poor mental health. Like you don't have to be the stereotypical man to be a man. You don't. This is the problem. Like this is the thing where I'm a big geek. Right? Stereotypically, yeah, you wouldn't think that. Oh, this is a man's thing, right? It's like girls, cars, and gun shit. No. And this is the problem. We are like I've tried to fight too, where not being a stereotypical man does not make you less of a man, right? Exactly. Like having muscles doesn't make you the ultimate man.
Yeah, and you know what? Like that's the conversation that like some of these like trans men or trans women need to like really like have. And the guidance counselors are like. And there's kind of like this social reward where if you come out as trans, you get like this endorphin of like, oh, my teachers love me now. My counselor knows my name. The principal knows my name. And that's like that social endorphin that gets them. rather than like just being like, hey man, Andy Dick's a man too, but he's not Joe Rogan.
Yeah. I 100% agree, and that's the problem. That's the problem we are facing.
So
Right?
like let's talk about solutions. Like, what do you think would be the best solution? Like a first step solution. For me, I think a good first step solution would be getting rid of pronouns.
That's the thing where that's probably another part where I'm talking about, where we are trying to push things onto other people, and that's the issue. I said it. We don't care if you choose to live how you ever want to choose, right? But we shouldn't be pushing our lives onto other people that are what our viewpoints. I said this where I would never tell someone else how to live, and that's the issue we're having, or tell other people what you should do, what you can't do. But we're having more and more of that, where you can't do this, you can't do that, and then it's like you need to recognize this, right? You need to know who I am. You need to. It's like you're pushing this shit.
Yeah, whatever happened to days of it being okay to be a wallflower at school? Like, I don't know about you, but when I was in school, I wanted to be left the F alone. Like, I just wanted to go home. I wanted none of this extra needed attention. So, like, and like, that's what I mean in terms of solutions. Like, we need to start, like, not necessarily helping women, but helping men and finding the solution, because at some point, we guys gotta, like, I'm not saying like do the majority of the battle, but like kind of steer the ship. Like, this is where like, because like I'm not like going to be like make the generalization that women need to be led, but if we can point them in a good direction on how to help combat this, then we can get them to stop raging and actually start doing.
No, and this is like Whiskey said. Okay, I'm a man, but I don't feel exactly masculine. I've done many masculine things: combat, construction, woodwork, and this is the thing where we constantly. And I believe that the new age men, right? New age men are doing it, right? We're not telling men, oh, you need to be, you need to be hyper masculine, right? The alpha shit, I think it's just another stupid crap that grifters are trying to push. I've never said that's what a man is. That's what a real man is. And to be honest, I don't view being alpha as a real man or any of that shit. I hate it when society needs to tell you what a real man is. No, I've always believed that what makes a man is who he is inside. Right? It's who he is inside and how he lives his life.
Okay? Well, that starts the Ouroboros, because it's not like, one, I think your comic collection is awesome. Like, I see all the stuff you have in the back. That's awesome. But it's not men that are telling other men how to be, like, to be a man. Like, I'm not sitting here saying because you don't do the same thing I do, you're not a man. Only one group of people I know that say, like, be a man. Mm-hmm. And are you familiar with Jack Donovan?
I heard his name a bit.
Okay, he has a great book called The Way of Men. And in his book, he basically asked the question, like, everyone tells you to be a better man, but they never tell you how to be better at being a man. So that's what I mean. Like, if we're like, I agree with you all 100% about the alpha male academy, where everyone's trying to be like the Wes Watsons of the world. But in our fight back, we just got to like kind of represent like true masculinity, because like what Jackson with Whiskey was saying, that to me is the most masculine statement you can make.
Yeah. Again, and here's my thing, where you got to think all those, right? I think it's a purpose, right? I think that's a duty. I think what makes a man is having a purpose, a duty, okay? Not like combat, right? You're fighting for others, right? You're risking your life for others, right? That's the thing. You're risking your life for others. I believe what makes a true man is like a sense of purpose, a sense of duty, someone who's beyond, like, woodwork, construction. You are helping out the world. You are construction is you're building society, right? That is right there. Is it is a man doing that. Woodwork is you're building things. You know, you like a man with purpose, a man with skills. I think those are. And this is the thing. There's many examples of being a masculine man. Many examples. We don't have to necessarily put it in such a confined box. And that's the problem we have too. I would never disagree, or I never put down even an alpha man or a man that's like a bodybuilder, a man that's like whatever. I would not put them down. And that's the problem I always have with things like that. And I've shown comments where, oh, they say that, you have a comic book collection, you're not much of a man. It's like, seriously, that does, like, I hate it when we have to, really put down what a man is, right? I really do.
Well, that's kind of just shows the ignorance, because they see a comic book collection and their mind goes to one thing. I see about 200,000 hours worth of work to get that stuff. Not only to acquire the money, but then to go to local comic book stores, make friends so they can tell you where to get that cool stuff. So what they see is a snapshot of years of hard work. And that's just I don't want to, it's just women's ignorance to like those little things. So
no. But then let's show some like you were talking, women's ignorance to it. So let's show some women who honestly why we're having the issues we're having.
Very inflammatory statement.
Okay, what is your opinion? So my sign says men cannot be women.
Yeah, very inflammatory statement.
Okay, what is your opinion?
Well, I think that a man could be a trans woman, so a type of woman. So yes, I think man can be women, because a trans woman is a woman.
What is a woman? And that's not a like stupid Matt Walsh question. What is your definition of a woman?
Someone who identifies as a woman is a woman. Whether or not they're a trans woman or a cis woman is based on biology, but they're both women.
So is perception reality? Like if you perceive if I perceive something as reality, is it reality? Or if is expression reality? If I express myself, is that reality? Whatever I express myself as, is that the reality?
Well, how a person expresses themselves, like the name they go by or the pronouns they choose, then that is their reality of their identity. So yes. Whether what someone perceives as reality is another thing, because people perceive things wrong all the time.
So if I express myself as like a lizard, am I a lizard?
A lizard is not a human being. It's an animal. I mean, if you dressed up like a lizard, you'd be dressed up as a lizard.
Right, and if you dress up as a girl, I'd say you dressed up as a girl.
This is a conversation about gender, which has nothing to do with animals.
But what's the fundamental difference between expressing yourself as a woman and that making you a woman, and expressing yourself as a lizard and that making you a lizard?
Because expressing yourself as a woman is your gender identity. Expressing yourself as a lizard is you saying you're an animal.
Your species is a part of your identity.
Yes, but it's not gender identity. Gender in itself is fluid and flexible with like non-binary people.
But what's the difference? Why is gender fluid and species is not?
Because species is like the animal that you are. Like a lizard couldn't really transition to be a dog because they're completely different species and
I would argue that men are completely different sexes than women.
Well, see, here's the thing. Gender isn't based on biology. Your species is based on your biology, obviously, and the animal that you are. Sex is biology, but sex is different from gender.
But the definition of a woman is adult human female.
The definition of a woman is adult human.
Oxford, the most credible dictionary in the English language, adult human female is the definition of a woman. And female is defined as a person who falls into the sexual category that is capable of bearing children and producing ova. So those two things are inextricably tied.
What about women who can't have children?
Well, they still fall into the sexual category that is capable of bearing children and producing ova.
All right. Yes. Well, a cis woman is an adult human female, but a trans woman is a trans.
But they're not the same. A trans woman and a woman are not the same thing.
They're both women. Well, of course. A trans woman and cis woman are not the same thing, but they're both women.
A trans woman and a woman are not the same thing. A woman is an adult human female. If we agree that male and female are sexual categories, adult human female being in the definition of a woman means that.
And this is the insanity. This is the insanity that we are talking about, and why women cannot lead. Why women cannot lead, and why, honestly, this is a thing where like I said, men, we just have to step away, because here's the insanity where, again, I see this more often where men are trying. It's like men are trying to convince women that these are not women. But yet women are the ones who are fighting against men. And then you have women that are ones who are fighting against men about it. And then women are complaining that these are the men that are interfering in their safe spaces. But I'm sorry, you are allowing it.
Yeah, and like kind of when you notice what she was doing, it's kind of really telling, because I'm sure you've heard of the trans species people. So by her law, like, and when you kind of like break down their logic, it's always just so elementary.
And to be honest, it's all built on feels, right? Because again, I hate this thing where sex is different than gender and all this. It's like, come on. You're kind of trying to play semantics. You're trying to redefine things. You're trying to. We all knew before the whole alphabet shit. We all knew that honestly, it wasn't the difference. It wasn't really. Oh, now let's make it. Oh, this is there's a difference between gender and sex. It's like it's a bunch of bullshit. It really is.
Well, like that kind of like how, I don't know what state you're in, but you know how when you move to certain states, like if you move to Texas, people will say you're automatically a Texan when you move to Texas. You know how, but they'll say, oh, unless you're born from New York, you're not a New Yorker. So that's why I was saying earlier, like we really need to get rid of the self-identifying aspect, because then gender expression goes away. Gender expression goes away. Everything else underneath it goes away.
I do agree. That definitely is a
I had the Twitch deer person. But that's what I mean. Like they don't apply like everything. And like remember the Candace Owens when she was like, "Can someone be transracial?" Like Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah. And we can't do that. That's the insanity.
Yeah, and so it's like they have to make their logic fit into this one little peg, but they don't realize they're trying to fit a circle into a peg, and it doesn't go into any other circles. Like, I guess we really need to sit this one out, because I kind of want to see the shit show, because I'm kind of on that accelerationist mindset now. Like, let's just let the downfall happen to rebuild.
Here's another one. Right, let's check this one out. And that's why I'm saying I have a couple of these, the insanities, honestly, of women. So let's check this out.
Glamour UK magazine is out with its Woman of the Year issue. And to the surprise of plenty of readers, the company gave the honor to 9 men who identify as women transgender. For years, Glamour magazine. Glamour UK magazine is out with its Woman of the Year issue. And to the surprise of plenty of readers, the company gave the honor to 9 men who identify as women transgender. For years, Glamour magazine has promoted beauty and femininity in all women, but now the company is referring to the trans community as the delusions. J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter book series, had a lot to say. She's leading the outreach writing on X. I grew up in an era when mainstream women's magazines told girls they needed to be thinner and prettier. Now mainstream women's magazines tell girls that men are better than women than they are. Piers Morgan is also reacting to the magazine's cover. On X, 9 biological men being declared Women of the Year by Glamour magazine is beyond parody, even by ludicrous woke virtue signaling standards, and I suspect the beginning of the end for Glamour magazine. By the way, we reached out to the parent company of Glamour, Condé Nast, and we have yet to hear back. Your take, Charles.
I'm surprised because I thought that the pendulum had started swinging back the other way with this kind of stuff. Certainly amongst businesses, right? I watched this from a business point of view and how the implosion of wokeness has destroyed companies. Nike, Starbucks, most recently that Jaguar ad, for instance. You guys remember that? It was crazy. I have a Jaguar, old Jaguar. I love it. It's like that ad would not have persuaded me to buy one. In fact, I don't think anyone's bought one since. Honestly. Now some of it's retooling, but the sales are so abysmal right now. And I just thought that I thought we had kind of moved on from this kind of thing, and apparently this is the last holdout, or one of the last holdouts, and it's unfortunate for particularly for.
That is the thing where that's the thing where, again, like you're saying, I've said this too, that honestly, we as men are just watching the world that women have shaped burn down around them. Right, because here's the thing: these are and not it's just a Glamour. I think other magazine had other trans women as Women of the Year. So really, it's like this is the insanity. These are magazines led by women, right? Led by women, women's editors, women's publishers, women's writers, and yet you put men as your Women of the Year. You spotlight these, born, these men, right? These male born women, to think that these are your representation of women, which again, and this is why I'm saying that, men are just giving up. We'll give up. We can't do anything. Like these women will not listen to reason, so they will be their own worst enemy.
Well, notice they say Glamour was a UK-based magazine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Need I say more? It's England.
Yeah.
Like we're at the point now where I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who feels this way. Europe's falling.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
And us American men, we need to we need to start holding the men in Europe accountable for some of this nonsense.
But I mean, I think they're falling. They definitely seems like they're gonna fall quicker because they're experiencing a high level of we're not gonna talk about this tonight, but they're experiencing a lot of Muslim situations, a lot of the alphabet community situations. They're experiencing a lot of these small little pockets of issues that we are experiencing, but their results are happening, I think, a lot quicker, probably because they're a smaller population or a smaller country. So that's the thing, we're seeing how the world is going to turn into.
Yeah, and what's really kind of baffling is who is going to be and let's make a prediction. Who do you think is going to be the first progressive female politician to say something?
To be honest, I don't think anyone. Well, I think I don't know. I mean, no one on the left is going to say shit.
No, it has to be a leftist. Wait, because if it's not a leftist, it's not going to happen. So it's going to have to be a leftist.
No, I don't think anyone. I mean, the most at least popular AOC or the Jasmine Crockett's, they won't say shit. They won't say nothing.
Because last I heard, isn't AOC expecting a child soon?
Is she? I didn't even know she was with someone.
Oh
God,
yeah,
what man can stand that woman? I was fucking insane.
She's Alex Stein's favorite big booty Latina. Yeah, but I think if AOC has a kid in the next 5 or so years, her mindset's going to shift. It's going, because if you ever noticed, a lot of women, when they have kids, they completely shift from their liberal values.
Yeah, but is she married? I know
she's dating some hippie Prince Harry looking guy.
Oh, if she's with a hippie or a liberal, I don't think she's going to change. I doubt
Oh,
she will change.
okay, she's not pregnant. She just like gained a little weight.
That, to be honest, I don't see feminists all that enthusiastic to get pregnant. I mean, that's part of their identity to, not be tied down by children and shit. So
Yeah, and the anti-natalist community and the feminist community is growing. So yeah,
oh my god, that's another thing that we could have talked about too. Is like, that's the thing, they are destroying themselves. We will be seeing a lot of women growing old and then realizing, oh, they have no man because they didn't want no man, they have no kids because they didn't want kids, and now they're old, lonely, and no one is there to help them and support them. We are seeing the world that women created burn down, and again, that's the insanity of it.
yeah. I'll send you an article on Instagram, but back in 2019, I think it was JP Morgan. They released an article called "The Rise of the Economy," and it was like literally, it was kind of prophetic because everything they talked about in that article, word for word, came true. Like even to the crazy cat mom memes.
I agree, and I use that article a lot, and this is the path and I said this, right, just like we were talking about, just step away, right? I like in my last stream, I said it. We either go MGTOW or we go passport, bro. Just leave these Western women alone. Just leave them alone. I've said this multiple times. I'm on the side where I promote. Please, just don't approach these women. Let them stay in their misery. Let them experience the consequences of their actions. And again, even with this shit, I'm sorry. Now you are going to, I'm gonna let you cry. I'm gonna let you cry about it, right? Now let the trans people that you are been supporting, because again, men aren't supporting this bullshit. Men aren't supporting the trans movement. Men aren't. At least not. I mean, at least not like besides feminist men. Men aren't supporting this bullshit. It's women. It's just women.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is like I don't know what kind of like scenes or communities you have in your area. Like I listen to a lot of metal, so I go to the metal shows, and I'm seeing like a lot more women are coming there complaining about men and stuff like that. And even the men at these shows where there's like 500 dudes to like 10 women aren't even approaching these women anymore.
I love that. I'm sorry. I like, this is the thing where every time I hear women complain about, oh, men aren't approaching, I fucking love it, because it just shows me like, right on, my brothers, right on. Do not indulge in these women insanities. For decades, we have been hearing that I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man. Fuck it then, all right? You don't need us, we ain't dealing with you. We either walk away or we go in fucking passports. That's the fucking shit. I love it.
Yeah, and like what I really think I think the 2025 leading into 2026, I don't think women are necessarily mad at the whole trans thing. I think they're mad that their attention has been starved. And this is like, remember like 2 years ago when women were getting attention, this was not an issue. Now that more men are MGTOW or just walking away, attention starved. And now it's like, hold on, wait a minute.
I'm loving it. All right, let's watch some more women supporting this bullshit.
Trans women is because I just saw a post of the reason I support trans women is because I just saw a post of a man who has caused me actual physical harm complaining about trans women in bathrooms. Bro, I'm more worried about you because you're still walking this earth like you didn't physically harm someone. Fuck off. The reason I
that doesn't fucking make sense.
That's a crazy read. Wow.
And that is the insanity. That is the insanity I'm talking about. What's that?
Now that I'm more awake, I really want to know why cisgendered women do not like being called cisgendered women. What's so offensive about it? You act like I called you.
And you know what? I think this right here, the whole cisgender shit, it's literally I just it's pushed by women. So they're trying to help the LGBT community, help the trans community by pushing out this bullshit.
You're only saying that because you're a cisgender man.
Oh, that's some fucking crazy shit. That's some crazy shit right there.
A bitch. All y'all acting like I called y'all some bitches, hoes, sluts. What's the issue? Why is being referred to as cisgender so offensive to you? The girlies are in the comments like, I just don't like it. I just don't. What do you not like about it? Because regardless if you like it or not, you're still cisgender. A lot of y'all don't want to be inclusive, for one, and a lot of y'all think that it takes some kind of hit at your womanhood. You think that it somehow affects the value that you have placed, that you have allowed society to place on your womanhood. You are a woman, whether you're cisgender, whether you're a trans woman. You are a woman. Nobody can alter your identity. Nobody can lessen who you are as a woman unless you allow them to. And unless you place some kind of value on it, in which being called things like cisgendered woman will affect that. You're cisgendered whether you like it or not. And you know what? I have one more question. If I'm out of line, somebody tell me I'm out of line. But are y'all going to go this hard for trans women that don't want to be referred to as trans women, that don't want to disclose that they are a transgender woman? Are y'all going to keep that same energy? Are y'all going to say that it's an insult for a trans woman to be referred to as trans? Because y'all are doing this heavy and hard for cisgendered women, but I feel like y'all are only trying to make it clear that you don't want cisgendered women to be referred to as cisgender. Meanwhile, you still want to make that distinction when it comes to transgender women. And here's my follow-up question. Are y'all fighting for cis women and trans women to both be referred to as just women alone? Or are y'all just fighting for cisgendered women to be referred to as women and trans women are still referred to as trans women? I'm just a little curious. And I have one last thing that I want to say to this commenter, because when they said because it is, it's when I ask somebody, why is it offensive to be called a cisgendered woman? Would you say the same thing about a transgender woman? Do you think that it's offensive for a trans woman to be called a trans woman? Do you keep that same energy there?
Again, it is women that is fighting for this bullshit. Like, again, here's the women right here. As a cisgender woman, I am fighting for all women to be called women, not just the mayonnaise brigade. We are all women, no matter how we got here. This bullshit is like, I can't believe you can have sympathy for this bullshit. I do not. I'm sorry. Only fucking weirdos, only idiots, only these like weak ass people can have sympathy for this bullshit, because again, it's pushing the insanity. And again, fine, you have sympathy, and now look at what's doing. Eh? I just showed you 2 videos of women having to experience men or trans women in their spaces. But okay, well, why are you complaining, right? They're women, right? You said trans women are women, so you shouldn't complain that you're seeing huge ass dongs in your safe space, right? Because they're women, right? It doesn't matter as long as they call themselves trans women. It doesn't matter if they have a dick in it, and that's the insanity we're pushing. So this is why I said, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, like they support these shit, then again they will have to suffer for it.
Well, these, I don't even think these like activist women really understand what they're kind of saying, because like, let's just say I say something that you find offensive. You don't have to justify why you are offended according to leftist logic. If you hurt someone's feelings, you attack a microaggression. This is leftist logic. So like, this morality that they have is so like situational, it makes no sense. And like, I just don't, because like, I just looked up the term. When did the cis term originate? This comes from 1994 is when it started. So it's not like this has been like a proper phrase or anything that's been in our lexicon for 2,000 years. This is something 30 years old. Well, it was coined in 1994, but it didn't take off to like the 2016. So they're using modern language in this like really weird, asinine, arrogant way where they think you're dumb because you find cis women offensive. It's just crazy to me how like this morality, because like if I said like we could put that to like what she just said, we could put to any racist comment that someone makes, and she would probably not agree with it. We could put it to any insert X comment like racist, homophobic.
Exactly.
If someone feels offended, and rather than you saying I'm sorry, you try and justify why they shouldn't be offended, you're the asshole.
Exactly. And this is the thing where it's not logical because again, a lot of these leftist logic, you can't apply it to anything else besides their own particular point of view, because it doesn't make sense when you trying to like use that same logic for other situations. And that's the problem I always have with them.
Yeah, subjective morality is a great weapon that they use though.
Exactly.
And you know, like maybe in a way, like we need to put women onto a game, like about like how honor, discipline, loyalty, are qualities of men that they need to pick up on rather than having a beard.
Exactly. I mean, this is the thing where and I love what you said, right? Those morality points. I love it. And that's the problem where, again, the problem with a lot of women is that they lack that. They're so controlled by their emotions. They can't understand any of those kind of concepts. Right? They're so controlled by their emotions. They have a hard time with really interpreting those mindsets, and they don't see. And again, this is honestly why women cannot be leaders. They cannot see the repercussions of these actions. They cannot see the possible future pretty much consequences or results of these actions. They can't.
Yeah, and like, and you know, you talked about earlier how like women have invaded male spaces like the comic book industry. Let's look at Batman, for instance. Batman has a moral code. Does his moral code change from the Joker to the Riddler to Two-Face to Bane? No, he keeps it all along the way. And you figured if these progressive women are taking over men's spaces, they would learn some of this stuff by now. Just 1% of these things.
No, because this is the thing where women are trying to take over these spaces and put their poison within them, right? So again, this is the problem with a lot of women where they're trying to force men to be women. So no duh that now we're having an influx of mentally disturbed young men or young boys now trying to be women thanks to women's push. Like again, this whole toxic masculinity thing. So you think about this, a generation of women pushing out how much man hate, right, that is in society. You cannot be surprised that we have young boys growing up to also hate men, hate being men. So now if they hate being men, guess what? They're going to try to be women. But you cannot fight it where you're still a man inside. You're still a man inside. You're still a man mentally, right? Because again, being a man is more than just like what you look on the outside, right? What what you're dressing like or what your hobbies are like, right? And again, a lot of these men, like they said it, right? The ones with the gold gyms, like this man, right? Even though he's a trans woman, he's looking at women, I guarantee you, with desire, with a sexual feeling. Right? And that's the thing where a lot of these women don't understand that they are creating their own predators.
Yeah, dude. It's kind of funny because, like, I don't know how you feel about the Predator movies, but the feminization of the predators in the movie, like have you seen the trailers for the Badlands?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, the one that's coming out this weekend.
No, I haven't seen that one yet. I did watch the one that what is it the recent one that was on FX or whatever Hulu with the female lead. I'm like I wasn't that crazy about it. What did you watch that one?
Nah, I don't watch terrible Hulu movies.
It was the Predator, right? It was the Predator, the old school Predator movie, or it was a Predator set during the Native American times.
Yeah. There's the new one. It comes out this weekend. But if you notice that, like, watch the Predator in that like trailer, and you're gonna realize like they made the Predator feminine.
It did. You know what? I did. I seen the trailers, right? I didn't think it was like. I know the Predator looks weird, but I thought it looked really weird. I didn't think it like that.
Yeah, because like one of the great things about the Predator movie was you had a group of guys, like what was it, like 5 or 6? All of them had different skill sets, different races, different like intelligence levels.
Yeah.
They were working together to like take on this interdimensional being.
That was a badass movie. I swear.
And I think like when you kind of notice with women, they have become the predator that they always hated.
This is the thing where I said it. Women are slowly but surely becoming their own worst enemy, right? Women are.
Well, hey, man, I got to get headed out, but I appreciate you having me on again, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you for being here, my brother.
Sure.
All right. All right. So let's continue with some more of this, right? We'll continue some more of women's insanity, women's support for this craziness. All right.
Talk. We gotta talk. Cis women, we gotta talk. We gotta talk. Look, let's hear it then. Especially white women. You know that women, cis women, are the leading cause of danger, like physical, tangible danger for the trans community.
So a group of people based on their skin tone and gender are the biggest threat to a community. I wonder where I've heard this before.
Because of the programmed fear and propaganda.
Programmed? How easily does one think that females can actually be manipulated?
Because of our fear of men.
Fear of men? Not every female is afraid of men just because they're men. Speak for oneself only. Do not speak for everyone else.
Being more women that look like me, some women that don't look like me, determined to try to other themselves into a category in which the trans community is not welcome.
Would one be referring to the category known as cis women? That label that many females did not want, and despite protestations, we're told that we have to endure that label, or else we will be labeled as transphobic. That category?
We all have the same enemy.
What enemy is that? I really hope one isn't referring to men, because not all men are the enemy. Or is saying that part of that programming that one was referring to earlier?
So I don't know why you feel the need to be individualistic against a group that's also being persecuted. That don't make no sense.
So we should all think.
I think it's funny that you pretty much call men the enemy, and yet when men dress as women, they're no longer the enemy. That makes a lot of sense to me. This is the thing I find it really funny with a lot of women, right? I really do find this mentality funny with a lot of women. Of how these are the women, right? The feminists, the liberal, the leftists, the Democrats. These are the type of women that hate men. Yet if these men that they hate dresses as women, call themselves women, now you're okay. Now you can join the club, right? Now I don't hate you. Now I support you. I support you because you think you're a woman, because you dress like a woman. Now I support you. Now I don't hate you. Now you're not the enemy. Now you're not the enemy. That's the shit that we don't talk about. So guess what? You don't think that, okay, Little boys have been growing up in a generation where women think men are the enemy, men are evil, men are dangerous, I'd rather pick the bear. All this rhetoric of hate towards men. And you're surprised that now these boys turn to men now trying to infiltrate being women. But because now you're accepting them, right? Now you accept them with open arms. Now you show these women love and affection and care and protection. Surprise, surprise, that these weak men are trying to be women, right? They're trying to be women because they are now being accepted by women, not hated by women.
How very progressive. But if one actually thinks that women are being persecuted in either the United States or Canada, I highly suggest that one travels outside of North America and visit some other countries in order to see what persecution truly looks like for women.
That instead of fighting the enemy that we all have in common, you need to feel better about yourself individually. So instead of fighting the real battle, you're going to pick on somebody smaller than you to feel better. Don't ask me to unite with these people. They're more interested in their personal feelings than the betterment for all of us.
To be clear,
Are trans women the smaller ones? I mean, they're literally men. They're literally men dressed as women. Are they the smaller ones?
men are not the problem. But what I have been noticing a growing trend of lately is some are pushing the idea that simply because certain groups of people share characteristics in common is that they should all think and act the same. And anyone that promotes the idea that groupthink is better than individualism, now that is a problem.
Cis women, we gotta talk.
The conversation is not trans women and cis women are one and the same. That's not the conversation. Trans women.
See, this is a problem I have too, where these women don't even they're fighting against themselves. Okay, on one moment you say trans women, cis women are the same. They're all women. Now you're saying this shit, right? They're not the same. It's like this is why your logic is so fucking weak. It's all over the place.
Are aware that experientially that there is like a difference between being a trans woman and a cis woman. The conversation is not to equate these things. The conversation is to say there's this larger umbrella of womanhood, and within that there are varying experiences. All of these things that people list as what defines you as a woman, like menstruation or being able to have babies. I didn't discover that I was a girl when I discovered that I could have babies. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or after your first period.
Yeah, like before any of these things, any of these defining things that you guys like to bring up, you just knew, you just kind of had an inner sense, and you got lucky enough that for you, what other people saw when they looked at you matched what you knew about yourself inside. It was just like an inner knowing. This thing where we're trying to hinge womanhood on all of these biological things, it just does not make sense, because as a child you're not really thinking that much about your body and how it functions. Like before puberty, like you really are just living, like you just existing, and like you just have an inner sense of I'm a girl because I am a girl. The conversation,
This is the thing where I find this the problem, okay, with a lot of it's a problem with women. It's a problem with women where, again, it's like you have made life difficult, right? And I said this with women, how they made dating confusing. They made dating difficult. Women constantly want to make the life difficult, right? They want to constantly make life difficult, right? Here's the thing where even when you grow up, women can be tomboys. That doesn't make her less of a woman, okay? Being a tomboy, right? Being a tomboy, you know, you want to jump, you want to not dress like a woman. So what? Right? You're still a girl because you were born a girl. That's what makes you a girl. You were born it. So it's not just, it's just like, you menstruate, you can have baby. No, it's because we are born what we are. We are born what we are. It's only that now we are trying to make it more fluid, right? It's not, even if you're born, doesn't mean that you are, right? Even if you're born a man, doesn't mean that you are a man. Even if you're born a woman, it doesn't mean you are a woman. That is the fucking insanity, right? Again, and we don't recognize that this is sick. This is sickness. This is mental illness that honestly women are perpetuating. Women are perpetuating it.
Fun fact, the gender wage gap is trans inclusive. Trans women on average make less than all genders. It's crazy. And then have people call me male privileged. Are you serious? Fucking where? Fun fact,
and this is the insane. I mean, it's like, seriously. I just find it like we are constantly trying to push this insanity. Right? We're constantly trying to push this insanity on the people, right? Because we're trying to, again, I think it's the desire to promote victimhood. It's the desire to promote victimhood. So if you are a victim, you are you are popular, or you are trying to be championed, right? Again, if you're not, people need to be a victim, right? So, and again, this is why I'm more against it. I hate the victimhood mentality.
Do y'all find it really interesting?
Oh, did I not? Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I didn't play it.
Fun fact, the gender wage gap is trans inclusive. Trans women on average make less than all genders. It's crazy to have and then have people call me male privileged. Are you serious? Fucking where? Fun fact, the gender...
Do y'all find it really interesting how TMZ and the mainstream media are trying to juxtapose these two individuals with this recent kind of outrage with this woman walking into the locker room at Gold's Gym and seeing this individual in the bathroom? I don't think it's by happenstance or coincidence that they have picked up on this story and it is spreading like wildfire, specifically during this time, during this specific political climate that we're in. So this woman's name is Tish Hyman. Apparently she is like a singer-songwriter. I had never heard of her until this particularly popped up on my For You page. But she was recounting how she had just gotten done with a workout, gotten out of the shower, and she was like, apparently she was nude, and she saw this individual who appeared to be a full-blown man in the gym. And so she had basically confronted the man because she thought for a second that maybe she missed a sign and that like the workers were there cleaning the bathroom or the locker room. And then there was like an altercation that happened, and it turned into this huge thing, which is where we get this clip.
Men, grown men with big dicks in the women's locker room. And that's why I'm getting kicked out. And I want to make sure the girls know.
And then also fast forwarding, TMZ, they would interview both Tish as well as the individual who was also in the bathroom. And then when I saw the individual come on screen, I honestly kind of was dumbfounded.
But could you understand her being uncomfortable? Well, I certainly do not understand it, but I do get the notion.
You know, and this is the problem, okay? This is the problem where like the woman before that, the black woman who said, like, you want to equate such superficial shit to being a woman, right? All you need to do is like a bit of makeup, some earrings, maybe a bit more jewelry, maybe a female or a tank top, right? Some, you know, whatever, all that shit. That's a woman. That's part of the umbrella of womanhood, right? Like she's saying, that's the umbrella of womanhood. And that's the insanity, right? That is the insanity. So as long as you dress like a woman, you are now part of the umbrella of womanhood. Again, let women suffer. I'm sorry. Let women suffer from their own stupidity.
Of the fear mongering that she's perpetuated. Literally every time that she's done that, I've had women in the locker room comforting me because of how aggressive she was towards me.
Women are comforting him. Women are comforting him. Again, this is the problem. This is the shit I'm talking about. How can men support this shit, right? How can men combat this shit? How can men like the other women, like the what was it?
So I'm going to say something that's really clear.
How can men, like she was saying, men need to support women, right? Men need to help out women. How can men help out women? How? When women are the ones to support this bullshit. That's the problem. Boy George. Like that's the shit. And this is the thing where we like that's the thing where it is okay for men to want to dress feminine. Right? Fine, whatever. The problem is that I'm pretty sure Boy George wasn't going into female bathrooms or female spaces. Right? I mean, women weren't supporting him because he was feminine.
Did you peep what they said at the end of that? I don't think it's a coincidence or happenstance that this specific situation is permeating out on the internet and going viral in the way that it is, with these two individuals being juxtaposed against one another. A dark-skinned Black woman and this white individual who is up to your interpretation on how they present. But just based on the actual commentary and also putting, and then paired with the video of Tish reasonably upset and putting that out in the ether and just the optics of it all, look and watch at the games that they are playing with us right now. Crazy times. You all need to wake up.
Wake up. You are the people that support this bullshit. You are the people that are supporting this insanity. So no, wake up from what? Men have never been for this shit. Men have been against this shit. Men weren't the ones to push the LGBT whatever community. Men aren't. I agree. But yeah, that is the insanity. I mean, again, men are not the ones to like push this shit. So I would not. I've said this before. We are watching the world that women have shaped burn down around them. Right? We are watching the world that women have shaped burn down around them. It is what it is. You know, I have no sympathy for women. I have zero sympathy for women, particularly when it comes to things like this, because they are the reason why they are suffering what they're suffering. I mean, no one to blame but themselves. Right? You have no one to blame but themselves. I mean,
why are y'all listening?
I kind of want to finish this video out. All right. So let's finish this video out. I was watching it, so.
No, that's true. I believe that Magic Johnson was absolutely busting it down for a real one. And I think that them when they was the Coke boys back in the 80s. So, you know, they was getting high, they was doing Coke, all of that shit. I think they was living a life. And that's one of the reasons why I believe he's so okay with his big ass son walking around with high heels on. So if you're asking me if Magic Johnson was beta, I think Magic Johnson was bitcher.
Oh my God.
That's not true. If you're asking me my opinion, I believe, listen, we just don't have to call this shit a spade. I don't give a fuck if these motherfuckers got $1 billion or they're a billionaire if they own LA, whatever. Oh, two things can be true at the same time. We can acknowledge your business perspective, but I'll be goddamned if you tell me that we need to raise our kids the way that they raise theirs. Fuck them. They demons like everybody else. And just because they sold their soul and they gave their kids over to the devil, don't mean that we should follow them just because they black. And we need to start separating ourselves from these people. Y'all keep worshiping these people because they got some money or they should have jump shot. I'm not smitten by their celebrity. Fuck them. I don't give a fuck about none of them. Man, I don't care about none of these niggas. He got a big ass son that's like 7 feet tall, walking around in goddamn high heels, and everybody acting like they don't see that nigga. The tallest thing in the room. The fuck you talking about? This nigga got HIV. He got a big ass son, and we supposed to be on that because he got some heat on Starbucks? Well, what happened to character? That shit don't count because this nigga could dribble the basketball. Fuck him. Fuck all of them. I don't give a fuck about them celebrities. They don't mean shit to me. Man, listen, I stand on business. I don't care about these niggas. I don't care about no celebrities. I don't care about being a part of the crew. I don't need no friends. Fuck all of them. They demonic as far as I'm concerned. And they keep on trying to convince y'all that they're good people just because they got money. Money alone don't make you a good person. I don't give a fuck about none of them. Magic Johnson, all of them niggas is demons to me.
It's like giving out turkeys. On Thanksgiving don't make you a good person because you sit out there in the projects and give out turkey.
I'm saying
Yeah, people do that shit too. A lot of phony people. A lot of men acting like they men, but they're gay. And I don't feel like I don't have nothing against gay people, but I'm just saying. I think it's
I'll take regular rich. I'll take regular rich over filthy rich if it's gonna cost me my soul.
If what?
If I gotta give up my soul, if I gotta sell off my kids, then I'll be regular rich. Because I don't want what they got. I don't want to have to do what they did to get it. Because you can't tell me that God is nowhere in that shit.
Right.
You can't tell me none of that. Ain't nowhere in that.
That is true. Too much success means he must have made a deal with the devil. Or
no.
I mean, look at the examples. A lot of these big celebrities, they all have gay kids.
That's what you're saying, like it's gay, like it's a disease. So, I don't think
that is a disease, but I think it has
a man's worst nightmare more than anything in the world is for his son to come out and say, hey girl, that's a real man's worst nightmare. All of them is the
I agree with that.
And then they running around selling us.
I mean, like, again, I love it, right? I mean, like I've said it, where I like, yeah, off topic, right? I love my collection. I love it. I love collecting. Now, collecting is part of a passion, but again, my mindset is like, I love stocks, right? I love stocks. So making money is part of the passion as well. So I love that these things are investments, right? They are investments. They are, they cost money. They they're worth something. So I love it. So I love investing. I love that there's, a geek community that, it's part of the investment mindset. So again, this is a thing where I'm trying to get into like Pokemon cards, right? Pokemon cards and stuff like. I'm not going to jump into it because I don't need to spend more money. But I have been thinking, to buy Pokemon boxes for investment purposes. But I don't know. It's just a thought.
This image, Dwayne Wade, all of them, man.
Oh man, I don't want to agree with that.
Around with painted nails on, trying to normalize this shit for us. Black men are supposed. Man, these boys is butt broken. Black men were supposed to be the most masculine men on the face of the earth. We were supposed to be the ones, the fucking Shaka Zulus. These niggas is walking around with painted nails and girl boys and sons.
They fucking kilts now.
That's crazy, bro. And we sit here and think that shit is cool. We ignore it because these niggas can put up a jump shot.
Yeah, exactly.
If your son was
Think about how these niggas' lives are, bro. Bro, we go off on women for turning their sons that way. But we gonna ignore the fact that this nigga had money, so he had the leverage to be able to get his kid away from his original baby mama, and then it turned out like that. Got the new chick, and she up there dressed that way. Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm done with this shit.
And one thing I want to say is, what I don't understand about the LGBT or whatever is like, what I don't understand is like, if gay is the thing to promote, why don't we see like hot lesbians on commercials together? Why is it always dudes and dresses?
Man,
they started dudes all day. Like, I don't understand why.
They started putting that shit in video games, man.
You know what? I've thought about that sometime, right? Historical stuff, but I'm not the biggest history buff for a lot of things. So, I mean, sometimes if I ever happen to a really cool antique store, I wouldn't mind, buying something that is very historical or very old. I would love that too. So I have a big collector mindset, right? I just love collecting. I think collecting is a cool thing. Graded. Hopefully, yep. I mean, like seriously. I mean, like this right here. This is my only graded baseball card. Okay, I only got this. I mean, like I'm not really a baseball fan, but I really love that this is Ohtani. All right. I just had to get it because he was, they won the World Series, and as he's an Asian man, and I was like, okay, I think that's really cool. So that's only why I got it.
I mean, I see both everywhere, like on Netflix shows and Apple TV shows, especially on that last cartoon that they had. I think it was Disney. I believe it had like the instructor and some tourists in the forest sharing a wet kiss in the forest. 2 women. So
if they don't want to hear from you, you got gay best friends.
No, I don't.
You told me you had a gay friend.
So, okay, well, don't say I had gay best friends.
Okay, you got gay regular friends. Then.
No, I have a friend who happens to
Well,
be.
we all got somebody gay in our family. Yo.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
You don't base your friendship.
Yeah.
This is weird. I don't. I mean, maybe someone's in the closet, but I'm trying to think. I don't think I have anyone in my family that is part of the LGBT community. I mean, unless they're in the closet. So this is the thing where it's like, why do so many people know so many people that are part of that community when honestly they should be a small niche community, but everyone knows someone that is. So it's crazy. Yo, you know what? That's the thing. That's one of the cool things where I love it when collectors trying to teach the younger communities, the younger generation. My daughter, right? She loves collecting toys and stuff, like figures, like statues and figures. So I've been trying to get her stuff like that, right? I try to get her, those designer toys. She loves designer toys. So yeah, I definitely love, helping her out with that.
That is bad.
I do. I draw a line in the sand.
So even with women, would you not be friends with a bisexual?
I draw a line in the sand across the board.
With women too, you will not be friends with a lesbian.
You heard what I said. I said I draw a line in the sand. I'm indiscriminate. I don't have no lesbian friends.
How do you know that? How do you not know?
How do I know?
Women can be DL too. They be munching on that carpet.
That's
They
true.
munching on that carpet. What you think I'm real?
Let's be
Eating each other's
Let's
coochie.
be very clear. Let's be very clear. If it's happening, I don't know about it, but you do know about yours. And you choose to rock with it.
What do rock with what? I don't have anything to do with anybody's sexual affairs. Just because I know that.
No, because you sit here and preach about it, preach against it. You was just going off on a soliloquy, but your life, but you embrace that shit. So we
I don't embrace anything. I will not condemn somebody for a personal lifestyle choice. That does not.
Well, here's the thing where condemning is different than not associating. Okay. Again, right? That's the difference. This is the problem with a lot of women, right? And we did these videos, right? We show you these videos. No one's asking you to condemn the community, right? No one's asking you to condemn gay people, lesbians, trans. No. But why are you associating with them? And the worst part is why you support them as well, right? That's why there's difference to it. No one is telling you to condemn anyone, but we are seeing women going out of their way to support them. And that's the insanity. You are supporting the insanity.
That does not bring harm to anyone.
Yeah, come on, man. That's how we supposed to feel like that. I agree with you,
I be friends with you. Your friendship with somebody is not based on their sexuality. It's based on how they treat you.
Absolutely, it's based off your lifestyle. It's based off your lifestyle.
You don't have to be involved in their lifestyle. You just,
Being gay can change whether or not you're a good person. Y'all are effed up people. Just because they are.
Well, you are effed up people because the word of God says differently.
So now we're talking about.
It said, "Well, light darkness can't mix." What good do you? What dominion do you have when you hanging out with demons?
People use their own ability to make their. They don't think with Jesus. They don't think. They're not saying, okay, what would
you don't. You don't. Some of us draw a line in the sand and we say, "Fuck that."
And that's fine. You can do that, but I'm saying that's not what you should depict your friendships off of. Now, if you're saying
you shouldn't do that.
You do what?
You don't do that. I do.
Yeah, I'm not, because friendship is about treatment and how people make you feel and whether or not you can trust them. What people do is their own
the true definition of friendship is not what Webster says. The true definition of friendship is what Jesus called the people that obeyed his word. He said, "I call you my friends because you are obedient." He said Jesus defined what friendship is. That's why he calls us his friends, because we're obedient to the word. And the word is a living word. It's not something that you just read. It's something that you implement on a daily basis. And so we have to strive for perfection. It is not how you feel about somebody. It's defined about whether or not you are going in the same direction.
That's not how people operate, though. That sounds really good. Praise the Lord. That's not how people
operate. I don't care about how the world thinks. I don't give a fuck about how the world thinks.
Well, those are the results. What you talking about?
Would you hang out with a crackhead?
A crackhead?
Yeah, I know a couple of them.
No, I'm saying, would you hang out on a daily basis with a crackhead?
Absolutely not, Miss Nikki.
Why not?
Because a crackhead, your choice to smoke crack instead of anything else is on you.
Why is it not defining your relationship though?
You gotta hurry up because we gotta move to the next subject.
I would not hang out with a crackhead because the use of crack changes the whole composition of your entire existence.
So is the use of taking a dick. So is the same use as a man giving over and
No, it's not that time. No, it's not. I would trust the key. I would trust the key to my house.
I would rather hang out with a nigga that smoke crack than a nigga
You're
that's
lying. You're lying. You're lying.
I would rather hang out with a dude that sniff coke and smoke crack than a man that suck dick.
No. You put it this way. If you
That's an easy choice.
if you have to put your trust in somebody, would you leave something in front of
I said what I said.
That's a good coke. You can hang out with you. Just relate though. That's it. Don't come back tomorrow.
You're not going to super chat. Promise me I'm not going to hang out with a crackhead because a crackhead can't be trusted. A crackhead will steal your stuff.
Yeah, I agree. That's not a fair choice. That's not a fair choice.
I can deal with it. I can deal with a man that steals some crack. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping off that. I can replace that. I gotta cut your hand off if you try to touch my ass.
No, but you can. No. Now you say somebody trying to approach you. If somebody's a gay and he's your friend and he's not trying to hit on you, you still gonna be like, I can't be friends with you.
All right, let me ask you a question, Shampoo. You gonna let it post you up? Wait. Y'all together. You gonna let it post you up?
No, I mean not because of that, because I don't play basketball like that. But I wouldn't alter.
Would you let him post you up because of him? Huh? Would you get behind him and do that? Would you let him get behind you and do the hi?
No, because we don't play in them circles. But I wouldn't alter the way I feel or move. I don't think like that.
You wouldn't know because they're DL, so you wouldn't even know if they're gay. They're DL. So y'all
We know. Now she's right there. Now that's why I don't even look at it because I don't know. You don't know if somebody's spitting on your fish in the back of at the food.
Listen. Think about this. Most guys, even if they just cool with a chick, they know she bad as hell, right?
Yes.
Like you seen her titties, you might have seen her ass or whatever. You ain't interested in her, but you know what she look like. You pay attention. Damn, she got a dick today. Okay, I see you. Like, oh, keep it moving. What if that nigga size you up on the low and you don't know it?
Well, you won't know. Now be
I don't want the possibility.
I got you. I know where you're coming from, but it's pretty stark, man. It's pretty. I should be like that. You way younger than me. I should be talking like you.
If you looking to steal my VCR, I can deal with that shit. We got problems.
Let me ask you something, Bailey.
If you asking me, do you need me to get you a towel every time I get in the goddamn shower? That's a problem.
But no, you're not gonna allow that. You're going way over there with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on.
I mean, I'm sure
let's have a sword fight. Come on, man. We're not gonna be like that.
I agree that, this is a thing where we should be able to at least have opinions on things, right? Have opinions on things. And we should actually care about, the people around us. I mean, again, I think it's a good thing to have opinions on it, right? Have opinions on it because honestly, I'm not saying people to change their lives, but again, if you don't talk about things, we never get anything to light or done, right? Like Charlie Kirk always has said that, if we stop talking, then there's violence, right? Not a direct quote, but once we stop talking, it can lead to violence. And I'd rather have conversations, have moments where we're talking about certain things. Again, having an opinion is a good thing. I think having an opinion is a good thing. All right, guys. That's it for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's a bit of a different stream tonight. So, hope you guys enjoyed. All right, you guys are amazing. Laughing Man, Sissom, Brandon, my brother, Whiskey was here. All right, Steve, I love you. I say Brandon, right? Yeah, Brett, my man. You guys are amazing. Thank you, AJ, for coming by. Thank you, Real Rain, right? Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are amazing, right? I love you guys. Later, guys.